Welcome back, mathematicians, and let's get ready to go over our poster method problem. I want to remind you that mathematicians can use the solve method to solve word problems by showing and explaining their thinking. We have our goals. Hope that you have worked on it as you were solving the problem. Also remember that you can always pause the video when you need to turn and talk and discuss something with a family member. So let's see. Let's read our problem. Angel is visiting the zoo and counting the birds he sees. He sees 7 owls, 5 parrots, and some penguins. He sees 19 birds in all. How many penguins did he see during his visit to the zoo? So in going over our solve method, first we need to study the problem, making sure that we understand what the problem is asking us to do. We're going to underline the question. Then we need to organize the facts and circle all important facts. Then we need to line up a plan, choosing 2 different strategies to show our thinking. And we're going to verify our plan with action with those different strategies. And then last, we're going to examine our results, asking ourselves, does my answer make sense? And does my answer the question? So let's see. So read with me again as we go through the solve to solve our problem. Angel is visiting the zoo and counting the birds he sees. He sees 7 owls, 5 parrots, and some penguins. He sees 19 birds in all. How many penguins did he see during his visit to the zoo? So our first step is to study the problem. So let me ask you, what is this problem asking us to find? You can turn and talk to someone at home. Remember, you can always pause the video. So the problem is asking us to find how many penguins did he see during his visit to the zoo? So did you see, mathematicians, how I underlined that question? So we need to find the number of penguins that he saw. So let's see. Let's continue to our second step. We need to organize the facts, and this time we're going to circle all important facts. So let's read the problem again. It says, Angel is visiting the zoo and counting the birds he sees. Do you think that's an important fact that we need in order to solve the problem? I mean, I don't think we need it, so we're just going to cross it out, like draw a line through it. We don't need to circle it. Let's continue. It says that he sees 7 owls, 5 parrots, and some penguins. Do you think that we need to circle any of this information in order to solve the problem? If so, what do we need to circle? What do you think is important? If you say that 7 owls is important, I agree with you. 5 parrots, that's also important, so I'm going to circle it. Some penguins, I also believe that's important, so I am going to circle it. Then it says that he sees 19 birds in all. Do you think that's important? Is that necessary to solve the problem? Definitely. So let's circle them. So did you see, mathematicians, how I studied the problem? By underlining the question. I organized my facts by circling all important information. Now I need to line up a plan. What strategies are we going to use to solve the problem? As always, I like to use my manipulatives. So I'm going to use my manipulatives for one, and I'm going to do a number sentence for the next one. So let's see. So it says that he sees 7 owls, 5 parrots, and some penguins. He sees 19 birds in all. So I'm gonna work a little backwards because I already know the total. So he sees 19 birds in all. So I'm going to use 19 counters to represent the 19 birds that he sees. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to put them in groups of 5s because it's easier to count. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. It's okay we use 19 counters, but if you're getting up, like if your problem has a bigger number, like larger than 19 or like 20, maybe you need to think of a different strategy, like maybe a quick 10. But with 19 birds or 19 counters, it's okay. So now we already have the total of 19 birds, but then he says that he sees 7 owls. So 7 out of those 19 birds needs to be owls. So I'm going to circle 7. So these are my owls. I'm going to put an O for that, so that I'm going to label it so that I don't get confused. And then he says that he sees 5 parrots. I could just take another 5. And I'm going to put a P for the parrots. Then I see these birds or these counters outside. So then this has to be the number of penguins that he saw. So he sees what? How many penguins? 7 penguins. So we have 7 owls plus 5 parrots and 7 penguins gives us 19 birds. So let's use another strategy. We're going to verify our plan with another strategy. So we already know we're going to use a number sentence for this one. We already know that he sees 7 owls plus 5 parrots plus some birds. We don't know how many birds. And it's going to equal, some penguins, I'm sorry, is going to equal to 19 birds. So 7 plus 5 gives us 12. So 12 plus our number is going to give us 19. So let me see. So we already know in this part that he saw 7 penguins. So if I count up using these counters that are outside the circle, will I get 19? Well, let's see. So 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. We got 19, so we're correct. He sees 7 penguins during his visit to the zoo. Does my answer make sense? Well, he saw 7 owls, he saw 5 parrots, 7 plus 5 gives us 12, plus the 7 penguins that he saw gave us 19. So it does make sense. So he sees 7 penguins. Mathematicians, did you see how I studied a problem by underlining the question? I organized my facts by circling all important facts. I line up a plan by choosing 2 different strategies. I verify my plan with action with those 2 different strategies. Then I examine my results, asking myself if my answer made sense. Remember to always use the solve method when you are solving the problem. Till next time, take care.